Morning, everybody. Just thought we would do a seminar today, or a webinar, I should say. With everybody's states and cities and counties reopening at different times, different businesses opening, getting rescheduled for different times. I just thought it'd be nice to have Eric come on and give us some demonstrations on what we can do for our websites, our social media, our marketing, so that we're ready to go for the reopening, and maybe some suggestions on how to pivot your business. So with this new business environment we're going to have going forward, you're going to have to do something different. It's not going to be the same. So again, my name is Tom Jones, business coach and certified value builder at kickbooks.com. And my co-host today is Eric Greenspan, the Chief Clever Officer at 74 Systems.
Thanks for having me, Tom. I look forward to it. So you're going to give us a little update though on this COVID thing, right? On the PPP and what have you?
Yeah, they've got some new stuff on the PPP stuff. I mean, they had more money come out Monday. My understanding is it's going fast again. So if you haven't had a chance to apply for the PPP loan and are thinking about it, my suggestion is get it done as quick as you can, because that money's just going to disappear. My guess is they'll probably have a round 3 because most states are extending their stay-at-home orders pretty much a month at a time. So it's going to go for a while yet. They're gradually opening businesses, so a lot of businesses are still going to be affected for a long time, especially restaurants, anything where there's any type of a lot of people in confined spaces, restaurants, bars, sporting events, venues. So I can see them opening businesses in stages for the social distancing, and then not only that, how many people can actually be in the establishment. So a restaurant may open, but they can only have 30 people in there, and that's it. So if you are in any of those industries that might be affected, make sure to get that PPP loan to help you out, or the EIDL loan. There's supposed to be funds available for those, although I still have not heard of one person getting that loan.
So it's interesting you say that, because I have a number of clients that are in the industry, and they're working with people for the very purpose of helping them get these loans. Mm-hmm. And they're starting to see funding on the PPP. Mm-hmm. I don't think I've heard of a single EIDL funded, no. But I know they are, because it's on that COVID loan tracker website.
Right, but I don't know who's getting them, because I have not heard anybody getting them.
Nothing. I haven't got a response. I submitted mine more just to learn about it. And I haven't got a response. I haven't got anything. I get emails from them, so I know that they know I'm in. And then yesterday I got an email from Chase, which is my bank, mm-hmm. telling me that they finally submitted mine to the SBA. But have you heard this whole thing about small banks versus big banks?
No, I have not heard that one yet.
So, okay. So I can, it's in the news right now, and I'm a news hound. I watch local ABC, and then I watch ABC at 5:30 here every night, just, and that's it. And then I can't watch more. And so the big thing now is that the small banks are being given access to the funding first before the big banks, because the last time the big banks sucked it all up and the little banks didn't get any. And I can attest to that, because I have a client who's been pushing money through the small banks, and her people are getting funded.
Okay.
Lots of money.
So are they saying because the big banks last time, they're thinking is because it got all the big franchise with the 400 people.
I mean, the Ruth's Chris thing, that was through a big bank. I mean, that was ridiculous.
So they're giving the smaller banks supposedly offer more small businesses.
Right.
500 employees is not a small business.
Yeah. And I chose Chase only because I like the electronic, stuff, the connections to QuickBooks and that kind of thing. But I do regret it now. I wish I was with Montecito Bank and Trust still, because I've heard people there in our town are getting funded all over the place.
Okay.
So yeah, it's interesting. What else?
Nothing else. I mean, just figure out your survival mode. Figure out if you're still in a closed business or your business is down. Come up with a plan. If your sales go down to 20% of normal sales, what are you going to do? It may not get that low, but you better have a plan in place so that in case you have to flip to that plan, you're ready to go. You don't have to panic at that point.
You said a really cool word earlier, and you just said flip. Earlier, you said pivot.
Yeah.
And ironically, one of my clients this morning sends me a Teams message, and he says, Eric, can you give me some advice for this client of ours who's an AV firm? They go out and do the big the big events like the QuickBooks events and all that. And obviously they're doing nothing, and they've got all this equipment.
They won't be doing nothing for a year.
Right. So he said, can you give me, this is so ironic. He said that. He said, can you give me some advice on what you would do? And I said, I'd pivot. And that's all I said. And he said, sorry, pivot? And I said, so let me explain it. And here, I'll read it to you. What I said to him was, I said, he needs to rethink how he can use his tools and experience to work in the virtual world. Saturday Night Live could use his help right now. I'm a big fan, but their at-home version, it needs help. The lighting is weird. The sound is weird. The lack of audience is weird.
Right.
Somebody like this could learn how to help people do better Zoom sessions, or the schools. There's a lot of lighting is such a simple thing, and people don't think about it. So I said, maybe like a hairdresser, he could send out lighting kits or sound kits so that people who have to work at home or are working in large groups can actually be presentable, because touch-up mode, which is a feature inside of Zoom, doesn't cut it.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Maybe he'll figure it out.
So
I have another friend who did something cool with his business. He's a DJ. He's not doing any business, right? Well, guess what? He launched a virtual VJ service. He's doing videos and DJing for weddings and parties and whatever. And people are hiring him for like the starts and stops in the middles of their Zoom meetings to give it some energy. And he comes on and he's got this whole virtual thing and this cool screen behind him, which is the video playing and the music. And he's, you can see him in his headphones. It's just fabulous. What a great idea. And he's booked solid. That's a good pivot.
Yeah. So think about that. Flip, pivot, whatever you want to call it, how to pivot your business, like you say, for a more virtual world. How can you use the virtual world to help your business, help your people so that there's no contact? And then, like I said, make that plan, because business is not going to be the same. Business is going to be slow for a while. You got to make that plan to survive right now. You're trying to survive. You're not trying to grow or prosper. I mean, you're still trying to prosper, but the main thing right now is survival. So,
yep, no question about it. All right.
So with that in mind, Eric, what can they do for their website, their social media, and even their marketing plans?
Let me share my screen. How's that work?
All right.
Is that okay?
Yep.
That's one of your websites.
Yep.
And so I have a number of things that I recommend that you do. And the first one is make your website COVID ready. This is something that we add to a lot of our sites right now that we're working on with our clients. Give them a place to address questions related to it. If you're a food service business, update it with a button or some sort of a call to action to let people know that you're taking responsible action and you're doing the right thing. And if you're providing information where they can access it. Tom said to me at one point that he wanted to do, some informational webinars like this about COVID-19. Well, if people can't find them, what good is it, right? So when you click on this, it takes people to links that we are starting to build, right? And then you also started this Solution Zone webinar, and we're posting those here. So we're making those as easy as possible for people to access. So you need to make sure you do that. Another one that is really important is whether it's a webinar or a podcast or a blog post, start writing some content. If you've got a little bit of time on your hands, content is king on a website for marketing, and it's free for all intents and purposes. If you write a blog post about something in your business, in your industry, whether it's affected by COVID-19 or not, and it's better if it's not. If you have to write the articles about COVID-19, write them. But they're not evergreen, and we want to do as much evergreen as possible, meaning articles that we write for our website that can be useful over the years so that we can share them more than once. Because if you share them today, people won't remember. 60 days from now. So you can repurpose that content and get more people to come to your website. The key to building content for a website is you always want whoever is going to read it, whether you share it on Twitter or Facebook or through an email or just through word of mouth, you want them to come to your website to do whatever it is they're going to do. If they're going to watch the video, listen, or read. So rather than posting to social media directly, write a blog post, write a post on your website, ask your web designer or your marketing person, or hit me up if you need some help. I'd be happy to show you how. But the thing is you put the content on your website and you put the link out into social media so that the click brings people back to the website. That is very, very important. So the other thing is maybe just consider refreshing the look of your website, your logo. You know, IBM, Microsoft, Google, every once in a while, they make these little tiny changes to their logo and the world goes nuts. Well, that's not going to probably happen for you. But if you're not happy with it or you don't have the right colors, you know, I remember when we were working on this initially, Tom, QuickBooks uses Dodger Blue, which made me really, really happy. It might not make some of your clients happy knowing that, but it was a good color. It just worked. It wasn't
especially now that you say it's Dodger Blue.
Now, see, so now it's going to get changed. But the point is maybe freshen it up. Maybe give yourself a little, you know, take a little time and rework what, you know, the way the site flows or the way it looks or whatever it is. Just do something and it'll keep you energized and it'll get you working on your business, right? And getting things going, getting ready, because we're going to go back to business in some way or another. And everybody, like you said, a little bit differently. And here's the most important thing to an OCD guy like myself. See that right there? At the very bottom where it says 2020 QuickBooks, make sure the copyright is updated on your website. One of the companies that we work with a lot is Intuit, and they have a lot of websites, and they're all different copyright dates. These people do nothing but take care of accounting and numbers, and they can't get the dates right. I always send them screenshots and say, update your copyright. It's the details, and people will judge you based on the details. So I think it's very important. All right, now let's switch to social media.
Before you do that, Eric?
What's that?
Can you explain the little thing in the bottom right corner on my website?
Sure, absolutely. So the little thing in the bottom right corner is a bot. Don't let that scare you. It's not really a robot in the sense that you may feel awkward interacting with something like that. It's just a chat bot. It's a tool that allows you to get access to Tom and his team. And all you have to do is click on it, and then you make a choice. I want to chat with somebody at the organization, which will start a chat session live. I'd like to schedule a free consultation, which you can do immediately and not have to waste anybody's time picking up a phone or trying to juggle calendars. You just click, 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 answer the questions and schedule. And then if you are an existing client and you want to set up a meeting with Tom, this is a way you can do that. So you can make this is called Drift, which is the product. There's other brands. This one in particular is one of my favorites. And you can have these do just about anything. In fact, here's a neat one. Tom is a certified value builder. And this bot is different on this page. You can all go here, go to kickbooks.com and click on the value builder pre-score at the top. And then you'll see down here, or if you click the button, you can take the pre-score. It only takes about 30 seconds to complete this. Yep. It's really cool, and it'll give you kind of some feedback on a scale as to whether or not you're in a position to potentially sell your business, exit, or pass it along, whatever it might be, and what the steps might be to do that. And then if you're interested, you can go even further through the process and do the complete value builder system, and Tom can take you through the rest of that. So these kinds of things are really important, and particularly when you can't interact with people the way you once could, having these kind of tools are very useful.
And also, if I remember right, you told me we need to work on this. As we update my blog post, you can actually link your Drift to answers within the blog post or writings that you do.
So here's mine. And you can see here it says search knowledge base. And if I click on search knowledge base, I can simply ask a question. So tell me about Insightly CRM. And it'll give me articles that relate to Insightly automatically. So I may be able to get an answer to a question I have about your services without even having to pick up the phone or send an email. I can simply go to your website, get those answers immediately. Like, for example, tax filing dates or your address. Those types of things can be populated here. And you can write those articles, we call them knowledge base articles, specifically to address the most commonly asked questions, which will reduce the amount of time your staff has to spend answering those questions, either telephonically or through email. Great stuff. Okay, so social media. You know, there was a time when social media was a neat thing and people said, nah, you know, it's cool. I get to get on Facebook and see what everybody had for dinner last night. And, you know, I wrote or did a webinar a long time ago called Facebook is More Than Babies and Burritos. And because, you know, you always see pictures of people's babies and their food. I love to post picture of food. And I get more likes on food pictures than I do on anything else. So if you look at Facebook, the first thing I want to tell you, and it doesn't matter which one, you're always going to favor a particular you're going to favor a particular site. Facebook's my favorite. I use Instagram as well. You'll notice here, lo and behold, I posted a picture of my babies and not burritos, but chicken wings.
And scotch.
And yes, and it's not scotch. That is my 10-year-old Jackson. He's a hockey player. He played in Minnesota, by the way. We were out there recently against the Minnesota Blades. And that is Apple Juice. And he is a fan of chicken wings. And that is just an awesome picture. So while that's a great picture, you know, the engagement that you get from something like this is phenomenal. And I have about 4,700 friends on Facebook. The maximum is 5,000. I keep it just under so that I can add people I care about. And you can see I have 14 notifications just from this morning already. These are people that are engaging with me. And while I'm adding these relationships, I've got people commenting on my stuff, supporting me or questioning me or whatever it is that I've never even met. I added because they were friends of friends. And the secret to social media is you've got to get an audience. And in Facebook, you can just, they suggest people to you. So you say, you know, that looks like an interesting person. Click. Not so much on that person. Remove and add them. And as you build them over time, you don't want to go crazy with it, but add 5 or 10 a day. And you start building up things. And you would not believe the conversations that I have had with people I've never met. And some of those people I will meet later in life. And many of those people in the past, 90% of my entire client base came from that very thing. And more importantly, let me show you Abo. So you can see I have a lot of groups. This is Abo. And Abo is accountants, bookkeepers, and business owners. There are 6,291 members. They're all accountants and bookkeepers, tax folks. And I'm the head of this. I don't do taxes. I don't do bookkeeping. Why do I want these people in my group? Because they're the type of client that I serve. That's my audience. That's my industry. I help accounting folks. So I built a group and gave them a forum. And all they do is they come in here and they ask questions and they answer their questions and they engage all day long. And then sometimes they market their stuff and we say goodbye to them because our rules are very clear. You cannot post something that is spammy or advertising of any kind. I can, but they cannot. And those are the rules. So a client sells cupcakes. They sold over $600 in cupcakes to a local restaurant. Do they get a 1099? Tom? That's
a very generic question. But if if the restaurant is a corporation or an LLC, they do not need to issue a 1099 back to another LLC.
Right. So let's see what they said. No, 1099s are for services, not stuff.
No, you can still do it. You can still do it for stuff, but
this right here, what Della said. So she supports this.
yeah, I'm just
And they
as
support
as a
her.
general rule. The first thing to look at is, are you going from a company to a company? Then you don't need to worry about it.
Anyhow, you get the point. So if I ever wanted to post something, you can see I posted this for a different client the other day. I have to remove it now. It's pinned. But that was there to announce an event, and people would sign up accordingly. Facebook groups or LinkedIn groups are one of the most powerful ways to build a client base. You can build it up, you can have fun doing it, make a lot of friends, and you just simply put a post up here, invite them to a webinar or invite them to, set up a consultation, and boom. I can guarantee if I put something up there right now and said, I have a space open for a client. If you're interested, book a free consultation. I'll get 3 or 4 immediately. I don't have a space open, so I'm not going to do that. I turned away 7 potential clients this month. I wish I could replicate myself. Okay. So beyond that, take some time and update your cover images. Let's look at QuickBooks. So I think what we'll do with QuickBooks is we'll add the solution zone.
Okay.
In fact, let's choose from photos. And no, I want to upload, sorry. So upload, then I'll go to you, and I'll go to images. That's not the right one. Actually, it's under social. I actually have a social folder, and I could use this, which looks like that one, but I like the one in webinars better. I may have to resize this. It won't fit in there. I have to squish it down, but I will, because Facebook, it's not as large as that image, and
right.
Everything has to be in the middle. So we'll do that later. The other thing you can do, you can also update your profile images. Just do whatever you can to make it more inviting and to help it say what it needs to say so people know what you do. And update your profile. I just did mine here. I'm a hockey dad. I'm married to a Juris Doctor. She just finished law school. She took the bar and she's waiting for the results. We may never get them. I wrote a book, and I'm a foodie. And for a living, I help CPAs with marketing, tech, workflow, and automation. Update that. Update your details. And then the most important part about it, by the way, this is my family. We're social distancing at the beach. Use your social media sites. I post regularly. I don't get hardcore political, and I stay away from religious topics because those seem to get too heated. But I post about food, and I post about ideas, and I post enlightening thoughts and things that'll lift people's spirits, and funny stuff. I love funny stuff. Finally, marketing. What did you used to do before this all started? Start doing it now. Don't wait until we get back into business. Right now, go do the things that you do for marketing and get a jump on it. If you need some ideas, go to 74systems.com. Click on free consultation. I'll be happy to talk with you. Emails, blogs, social, all of it works together. Remember that the middle of the hub is the website. You always want to drive the traffic to your website. So put the content there. And here's a fun one. Start doing a podcast. It's fun. You don't have to do your hair. And we all know we're in hair trouble right now. And if you're as handsome as Tom, you can do webinars because you can pull it off no matter what his hair looks like. Webinars are a great way to engage with clients and prospects and what have you. And creating video is automated when you do a webinar because you save it as a recorded webinar and you have video, but you can also do video. I don't know if you know this or not, Tom, and we probably should do this. We could turn this broadcast live on Facebook and live on YouTube so that anybody could be watching it from those places as well.
Oh, okay.
We'll do that on our next one, okay? I wanted you to get comfortable first. And then The last thing that I want to tell all of you that has worked really well for me, and this is just a little techie thing, is use Zoom in meeting mode where you can see 49 people on the same screen and get in touch with your vendors, get in touch with your clients, get in touch with your partners and your employees. Go get all of your employees right now, whether they're on hiatus or furloughed or fired or still working for you because you're waiting on your PPP, or you're just really nice and you're keeping them going, and engage with them. Have meetings. My kid gets on with his team, his hockey team. Now they're 10-year-old kids and they just kind of stare at each other and make silly faces and what have you. But it just lights them up. It's a beautiful thing. The schools are doing it. It's a wonderful thing to see. Take advantage of the tools out there. Zoom is free for the first 40 minutes for anybody who wants to use it. So go for it. Zoom.us, I think, is the website for Zoom meetings. And that's all I've got. Any questions?
All right. Again, if you have any questions, click on the Q&A box at the bottom of the screen, type them in, and it can be about websites, it can be about anything. We'll see if we can answer it for you.
I think everybody wants to just go back to work right now or whatever it is they were doing. So I appreciate you all for being here. Thank you for having me, Tom.
Yep. Thank you for everybody for coming. I'm glad you could join us, and I hope that you got some good information from Eric.
Hey, Tom, just one more thing I wanted to add.
Yeah.
I've been doing a survey with clients. So let's let them know. We're going to send out a survey email.
Okay.
And we're going to let them pick the topics that they'd like us to speak to in our webinars. So I want to make sure we follow up on that. So look for an email. That'll be a survey from us. That's what it's about.
Yeah. So don't put it into spam. Answer it for us, and that's so we can do a future webinar on whatever topic you guys most want to hear about. We'll start there, and then we'll keep doing as many as we can. But otherwise, everybody, thanks for coming. Thank you, Eric, for all the useful information. Again, if you guys want to get in contact with Eric, you can do that through me, or again, go to 74systems.com. You can contact him there. Otherwise, everybody, have a great day, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks, everyone.
Everybody.